Hello and welcome to another episode of The Parenting Business, the podcast for business owners, managers that are also parents, and just chatting about the general trials and tribulations. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen. Do also feel free to get in touch with your stories or top tips about how you balance your parenting business. You can either leave us a comment or drop us an email at podcast@parentingbusiness.com. Also, if you like what you hear, please share the podcast with other parents and business owners, and don't forget to leave us a 5-star review to spread the support and the love. And with that, let's get on with this week's episode. Ben.
Happy
Hello.
new tax year. I'm a few days late, or a week late, because we had last week off, didn't we? So
We did. We had a nice break. Well, I had a nice break.
I had
We've
a
not
lovely time.
chatted, but
yeah. Bit of a go slow in there. I was still at work, but a bit of a go slow, really, for the most part. Plenty of family time. It was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, we'll maybe come on to that at some point in the episode, and we'll have a chat. But first of all, you've had a brainwave to support one of our former guests, Mark Golby, on his challenge, haven't you?
Well, I caught myself saying one or two ill-advised words in front of my children over the last few days.
In front of your children?
Yeah, I was effing and jeffing. I've had a bit of a day or two of, shall we say, frustration, and I was a little bit radged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a few words slipped out, as regular listeners will know tends to happen with me. So we're going to have a swear jar on the show, and we're going to support our first guest's efforts of, and this is poor, isn't it? I forget half of it, but he's doing something like 7 events throughout the year, raising money for Footprints, which is a wonderful Nottingham-based charity. So we record every week.
We do.
I tend to F and Jeff a fair bit.
Once in a while.
Once every, yeah. So we're going to try and reduce that with a swear jar. Now, because a few years ago, I stared the bankruptcy court in the face, I'm only going to do 10 pence a time. However, over the course of 6 months...
Otherwise you'll be bankrupt.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be having to remortgage again or something to try and get myself out of a muddle. So let's see how we get on. Hopefully I can get a little win by reducing the amount of swear words I use, and therefore my 4-year-old twins won't go into nursery copying daddies.
Copying daddy.
Don't fucking believe it, So there's 10 pence straight away, right? We'll make a note of that.
So I've got a task then.
Yep.
Of actually for the next however many months, 6-7 months, to try and make you swear, to piss you off that much and wind you up, because I know our listeners do like it when I manage to wind you up. I've been told.
Have you, or are you just saying that so you can continue winding me up?
No, we have been told, and you've even told me.
Have I?
Having spoken to some listeners in the past. So my role is to try and wind you up enough.
Charge me more fucking money for this.
So that you
charity.
have to give Mark more money for charity.
Well, it's up to 30 pence already. We've only been going 4 minutes.
Exactly. I think if we can get, what have we got?
You need a counter.
I think if we can
you
get a good
counter where you push a button on it. Like the little clickers that the doorman used to use before they sling you out on your arse, sort of thing. One of them little clicker counters, and we'll add it all up in 5 months' time or 6 months' time, whenever he stopped it. He's done his first one anyway. He was in Paris last week.
He was in Paris. I did see. Many congratulations to him. That's a fantastic effort.
Well, it's a fantastic effort, but all he's done is run round. I mean, school kids run round all day.
Go on then. I
tell
you what.
Cancer, has he? Well,
I tell you what.
You tell me what.
You run a fucking marathon if you think it's just running round. Come on, off you go.
I won't make the star line. Anyway, so yes, we are going to have a swear jar for my little potty mouth. And if we raise some money for charity, that's a big win. If I reduce my cursing in the general terms, that's another win. So whichever happens, we're all winners here, aren't we?
I think, though,
Please
if
don't. I've
you're,
told you about that before. It
I
doesn't do
know.
anybody any good.
Can you see that? Can you see the steam and can you hear the cogs clicking?
Go on. What you been thinking about?
I think, though, there should be a massive penalty in your swear jar
Why?
if you're caught swearing in front of the kids.
Oh, 100%. That's the main reason I'm doing this.
Yeah, no, but what I mean is not just on the show, but I think, and this is a shout out to your good wife because I know she listens. I think if for each swear word in front of the kids, it's not 10 pence, it's £10.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your wife can hold you accountable to
I'm
that.
sure she will.
So huge penalty. Okay, now we've chatted about that, which I think is fantastic. Let's get on with the rest of the show. Excellent. So we're gonna do highs and lows. Let's go into those for this week. Are you going first or am I going first?
I'll let you go first because I could start waffling on somewhat. What else has happened? There's
Okay.
something else that's bloody happened before we get on to. Anyway, go on, carry on. Go on.
Yeah, let's get on with it and
Get on with it.
and stuff will come back to us because obviously these episodes are completely planned and scripted out, and it's not that we haven't got a clue what we're doing and we just make it up on the spot. Okay, I'll start with low. Low. It's probably affecting everybody right now, but the price of fuel.
It's mental.
The price of fuel at the moment is such a low for me because I fill up and I'm thinking, hold on, how can I afford to just keep putting fuel? Now I drive a van. One, because it's handy for work. Two, because it's a crew cab with a big back so that I can get lots of stuff in for the family and this, that and the other. And it is, it's quite nice to drive. But when you're only getting 35, 36 to the gallon, because you're using that as your daily drive, it's bloody expensive. I just want someone to sort the fuel prices out. So that's a massive low for me at the minute because it's costing me an arm and a leg just to drive around and do family life.
And the current situation is one thing, but the thing on my mind a little bit at the minute is where are we going to be in a couple of months' time when everything's inflationary and then your order book dries up. That's heavily on my mind at the minute. We're doing quite well at the minute, but it ain't going to last long if we get inflation. Well, how can we not get inflation when fuel prices are 25-30% up or something at the pumps? We are, as a country, not self-reliant in many things, and it's a modern tragedy, and I know we're not going to get into politics, but we are beholden to this. There's fuck all we can do about it. There's 40p mark. And and people are going to stop buying stuff because of the prices we've got to charge
and it's
the customer. So
it is a real low because almost every day over the past week or so, I'm getting emails as well with fuel surcharges on deliveries, on waste collections, on just fucking everything.
Your suppliers put the price up.
Some of the suppliers have put the price up, but even on our waste carrier, sorry, we're going to have to now apply fuel surcharge because fuel prices are so ridiculously high, and
they've got to
40 or 50% of their costs is fuel. So I get it. It's just really getting to me. It's getting to me a bit now, both personally and business wise. So that's my low. That's my low. My high is we just mentioned that we've had a bit of a break from recording the show.
Was that your high? Is it you hadn't had to talk to me for a fortnight?
I've not had to talk to you for a fortnight. No, well, it's the fact that I've had a week off work with the family. I've had a nice Easter,
bit of a
proper
reset.
Quality time with the family. We did a few day trips out, and I'm going to give a shout out to Drayton Manor Park.
Okay.
If you've got younger children, and I'm talking, pre-14, 15, Drayton Manor Park is amazing. I've been to Alton Towers and I've been to a few others, and they're all 1.4 metre high to get on the rides.
Okay.
To be honest, Alton Towers, the last time I went, looked a bit tired.
Mm.
When we consider that in a few years' time, Universal Studios is going to be open in the UK, I think Alton Towers and some of them are going to have some real problems. However, I went to Drayton Manor. We took the family. Their rides go down to 90 centimetres, and there's only, I think, 1 or 2 or 3 rides in the whole park where you have to be over 1.4 metres. They've got staggered ride heights. So they tell you at the entrance, oh, well, if you're this high, you can ride these rides. If you're this high, only 10 centimetres higher, you can ride all those rides and these rides. And 10 centimetres higher, you can ride all those rides and these rides. There's so many more rides than places like Alton Towers.
Mm.
It was a fantastic day. And they've got the zoo as well. I was astounded by it, and we had such a good time, and it was so great for the both of us with younger children. For myself and my partner, with an 11-year-old and a nearly 5-year-old, we had the best day out. So big shout out and big up to Drayton Manor Park. If you've got kids and you're looking for somewhere to go, absolutely 100% recommended by me.
And it's those memories that you make.
Yeah.
As opposed to what you're doing. It's almost a secondary. It's the memories you make together.
Absolutely. It was. And not every ride was open. I'm guessing it's early in the season, a few teething problems with rides and things and this, that and the other. But it didn't need to be. If that happened at Alton Towers, you're thinking, well, where's all the rides? There was ride after ride after ride. We could have easily, even with the rides being closed, spent 2 days there.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. It was that good. It was that good. I was very impressed by it. So we shall be making a return trip at some point later in the year. It's definitely worth it. So that's my lows and highs. Let's come on to yours.
Yeah, well, the high-wise, I've been moaning a lot about contractors with a rental property, haven't I?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have in your repertoire of sound effects a hallelujah or a crowd cheer or something like that?
Oh, hold on.
What have you got? Ready?
Let's see what I've got.
What have you got? Hang on.
Let's see what I've got. Have I got this?
You hang on.
Have I got this?
That'll do. We've got a new roof. Yay.
You've got a new roof.
My tenant has his new roof, finally.
Awesome.
And the damage done by the first contractor to date would have been patched up and sorted to date. There's a lick of paint to go round when the new plaster repairs is dried, and then finito, all being well. So that's been on my back for months. It's been a constant thorn in my side, and it's cost us a good 4 or 5 grand more than it otherwise should have done, but it's nearly over.
So just out of interest, when's your old roofer coming back to rip it all off again?
To rip it any time. He could be there now for all I know. I think I said it on the last one. He'd been back with a hammer.
Yeah, yes, I remember. That's why I mentioned.
Bastard. 50p mark. So I mean, it's soon going to rack up into it, this bloody...
Yeah. So that is...
Yeah.
I know how much that's kind of taking its toll on you, so that's a massive high.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And the other one, I'm going to sneak in with the second one.
Double high?
A little bit, yeah, because we've got another little sideline that... Well, I'm going to rephrase that. My wife's got a little sideline.
Okay.
Which we all know there's money to be made reselling Amazon pallets.
Yes.
However, the risk is it's complete potluck and you have no clue what you're going to get. So I was speaking to somebody just by chance who resells Amazon pallets and returns and things like that. And shooting the shit about whatever. There's another 10 pence mark. And he mentioned he's doing really well on Shein clothes returns. He says, we don't touch surplus stock because surplus stock hasn't sold. Clothes returns, somebody's bought it, it's in fashion, it was recent, it's not last season's stock. And there's still a bit you don't know what you're going to get quite, but we take everything we get, put it into boxes where each box has got at least a couple of pairs of shoes, 10 items of clothing minimum, and then there's some makeup and there's some shit which you're going to struggle with.
Yeah.
Everybody gets some good. Are you counting my swear words? There's 2 more.
Yeah, I know. So it's a bit like Mystery Box.
A little bit like Mystery Box. However, they're pretty cool.
Wow, are they fake Puma?
They are Sheen Mystery Box things, I think. That.
Well, if they've come from Sheen, they're definitely not genuine
I
Puma.
appreciate I'm lining myself up for your next short here, but that resembles quite a pretty prom summer dress type thing.
Oh, I think you should be modelling that in the next episode.
So the markup is very well, and within 2 days of her putting things on, I think she sold 6 items already.
Nice.
So our pallet had about 250 items on, so it's going to last us a good 2-3 months. But there's some really good stuff in there. We're quite surprised. I mean, there's the odd bit of crap which you're probably never going to sell. They're pipe cleaners.
Right, okay.
Okay, chuck them in a car boot. We've got a pillar. A bit like, well, you might get a couple of quid for your pillar. But in amongst it all, there's some really good stuff. One of the pairs of shoes, wasn't a pair. One was a size 9, one was a size 7. So you think, well, get why you've returned that one. We've got to bin that, really.
Yeah.
But most of the stuff is really good. So she's all happy
I don't know,
about her sideline.
amputees.
I'm happy with yeah. And God, then I'll give them to you, and you can find some amputees. But point is, it's a big positive and something else to focus on and concentrate on. It's a few quids every week, and the idea is it pays for a day out.
So when's she taking over your warehouse?
If she can sell enough, she can take over our warehouse with pleasure, because so far she's quite profitable, bless her. She's done very well.
Good.
Yeah, and you're thinking as well, the guys I sort of, friends of mine really, have got it's not endless supply, but it's almost endless supply. They get a lorry every couple of days.
Yes.
A full lorry every couple of days.
I remember. I've seen the lorries arrive.
If I had a market stall or I did car boot every week, perfect. We don't. We're just doing a bit here, a bit there. But if yourself or any of the listeners wants to go harvest on a pallet with us, or even buy a whole pallet, we'll post it to you and make a few quid yourself. It's just such an easy little sideline. Whereas the Amazon pallets, anything there could have been returned for any reason.
Yes.
A lot of it's electricals. Well, why do you return electricals? Because it doesn't bloody work half the time.
But you say that. I buy a lot from the auction house. I buy a lot of my stuff at home from the auction house, and I've bought TVs, I've bought vacuum cleaners, washing machines. White goods are so cheap, and the auction house I use is Costco returns.
Okay.
And they always come with a Costco label on to say customer returned it because either it was poor quality or it stopped working and this, that, and the other. They're not. They're just customer excuses. I bought a TV a few years ago, Sony 42-inch or whatever it was TV. On the day that I bought it, it was on Amazon for £600. That was the cheapest place I found it. I paid £120 for it.
Yeah, mad.
And okay, it took me an hour to set up, only because I think it needed a software update or something. There was a software glitch or something in it, but I found out how to just update the software. Nothing special, just using the remote control and connecting it to the Wi-Fi because it was a smart TV. Updated the software, and it was absolutely fine. And funnily enough, my parents now have that TV, however many years later, and it was fantastic. So even electrical returns, a lot of the stuff people they need an excuse to return it.
Yes, change their mind a lot of the time. Same with these clothes. You found it online, the top doesn't quite match the trousers I had in mind, send it back. Yeah.
Or it doesn't quite fit.
Doesn't quite fit. A lot of
the
these
sizing wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, or I underestimated the size of my gut.
Yeah, it's Easter. I've ate too much chocolate and send it back, get a bigger size. I mean, there's a top consumer tip there. We do consumer advice from time to time on this show.
What? Stop eating so many eggs at Easter. Then you'll fit in your Sheen clothes.
By returns from auction houses.
Yeah.
You do take a bit of a chance because you can't take it back if there is an issue, but a lot of the time it's fine and you'll save yourself a lot. And there's some twat like me who'll make a few quid as well, and everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a high.
And effectively, it's reusing.
It's reusing
because if you weren't buying it, it's going to landfill.
A lot of it's going to landfill.
So everyone's a winner.
I mean, there's 2 shoes that are a different size on its way to landfill at the minute, but apart from that,
Telling you,
there's a pallet full.
amputees.
There's a pallet full of stuff here,
Yeah.
and it goes around the corner a bit as well.
Yeah.
And it might take a couple of months to get through it all, maybe a bit more, but
Nice.
we've all hopefully made a few.
But if it pays for a
quid
day out for you and the kids, or whatever, then it's worth it, isn't it?
On 6 items from Vinted, I think she's about 25 quid in profit on 6 items
There
in
you go.
Vinted. So it all adds up at the end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's 220 odd items there. So
Well,
you're not going to make money on all of them. Some of them you'll
of course.
have to throw away or go at a small loss, but a lot of it,
Yeah.
So, top tip.
Vintage great, actually. I buy a lot off Vinted for my daughter.
If you want a little sideline, viewers, listeners, get in touch with the show. We'll get some pallets for you.
Nice.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Absolutely.
We're
Go on then,
waffling
so
again.
that's good highs.
Okay,
so let's talk to me low.
I'm going to go so deep you can name a submarine after me on this one.
Wow. Okay.
So most people have insecurities. Most people have issues, and they, hopefully when they grow up, they learn to live with them. And that's the story for me. So in a nutshell, and I'm going to try not to waffle on too long. I'll skate over most of it, but make sure I hit all the detail is the aim.
Yeah.
Good luck with the edit. My illustrious father, his first marriage wasn't successful. There were 2 children there, and she up and left when they were 2. 6 years later, marries my mother. Year after that, 2 years after that, had me. And there's a stick of chalk and a lump of cheese somewhere, grateful that they're not so different as what Carol and Phil are. So they're both brilliant in their own way, but it just, doomed from the start, sort of thing. And then she later remarried, had 2 other children. So in my upbringing, I was kind of between the 2 a bit, but I have my oldest sibling, my sister, has issues that she can't resolve. She doesn't want to resolve them. And that is her insecurities are she still wanted a perfect family, mum, dad, 2 kids, lovely family, same as half the other kids at school. And that's her Achilles heel all her life. So I have been pushed out, not included, throughout most of my life in terms of that side of the family. And as a teenager, it killed me, and I was gutted. And what's wrong with me? Why aren't I this? Why aren't I blah, blah, blah. And we grow up a bit, and in my 20s, that upset, which would stay with me for days, weeks, sometimes, of that kind of thing, would turn to anger, and I'd say things I regret, do things I regret. And I remember my father once just wish you 2 would both bloody grow up, sort of thing, another 10 pence mark. Now, when I got to my 30s, I had basically walked away. So I had enough. So I'm from the southeast side of the city, little town about 12, 13 mile away. I now live northwest side of the city, about 5 mile away. That's not an accident.
Right, okay.
That's me, had enough of you, had enough of this, fuck off. I'm up to £1 yet for Mark. And we missed a lot of each other's lives, which is quite sad. And in things like this, Confucius once said, when there's a dispute of some sort, the person that's angry loses. Well, during my 20s, we were both losers. We've missed so much of each other's lives. She missed my wedding. I didn't want her there. And it took my grandma dying before she came, all tearful, all apologetic, all sorry. And I know it's not fair. I know it's not on. I can't help it. I'll try. And then a week or so after, we kind of kissed and made up a bit. I didn't get an apology of sorts, but the next best thing from somebody who's tough as old boots, hard as nails. And she basically, that's her insecurity, and she's life and soul of the party to try and get people to like her. So the reason I'm self-employed is because I wanted to be viewed by my father, accepted by my father-in-law, sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that is a completely wrong viewpoint, because I've never been not accepted, not whatever. He's just shit at emotions.
Okay, yeah.
But in terms of, so I have not so much had a I'm going to show you type attitude, but I'm going to do this, that, and the other, and then I'll be part of the club, so to speak, part of the clan. And it never fucking happened. And then when I achieved a few things in life, in my 30s, early 30s, I sort of got some confidence in myself for the first time. And I got some self-belief, and I got a bit of, do you know what? None of that's important. It's not that something I had my teenage years and my 20s thinking there's something wrong with me. Why aren't I being
Yeah,
accepted?
yeah.
Yeah. And that held me back in life a lot. But here's the snag. Not snag. Here's the other way of looking at it, right? If I didn't have that thing that held me back in life a lot, I'd be in a different position now.
Okay.
Think of Back to the Future when he explains the time difference.
Yeah.
So chronologically, you'll be the same time, but you've made different decisions here.
Yeah. So you followed a different path.
I might not have. I mean, I'm very happily married to a wonderful woman with 3 amazing kids. I wouldn't be married to her if I'd have gone on a different path, because I wouldn't be such an insecure wreck in my late teens, early 20s. So really, I'm grateful to the evil witch and my sister in that
Yeah.
sense.
Okay.
I still love her dearly, and I don't wish her any harm, but I've had enough.
Yeah.
This weekend was my brother's 50th, and I gets in touch with him. Are you in later, mate? Because he's like me. He's not that bothered about pretty parties or whatever. But you in touch later, mate. We've got your card and a few little bits. Is that? No, going out for a meal. And then you sort of find out through Facebook this big fucking meal planned. Is that right? Okay. See you at the weekend. Don't worry. Now, years ago, that would have killed me. As a
Yeah.
teen, that would have really crippled me, and I'd be sulking for ages. Why aren't I included? Why aren't I allowed in? Now it's just a bit, well, we're all losers here. It's disappointing. It's a little bit upsetting, to be fair, but life goes on. I'm 40. Grow up. In my 20s, I'd be angry about it, and I'd fucking go off the rails a bit, and I'd often say something I regret. And I was just as bad as my sister at that point, because you're acting on emotion, and that emotion is frustration and anger. So this weekend, I get in touch with my dad. He's practically, he's got a routine, shall we say, with his weekends. So I know he's going to be in that pub about this time. So give him a tinkle. So I'm going to come over see my brother. Got a couple of presents and stuff. Are you in the Royal Oak? About 1ish. I'll come over drink with you. My grandkids. Oh no, it's your brother's 50th. We're all having a party at your sister's house. I'm like, okay. And he says, are you coming? I says, no, it's the first I've heard of it. I just says, but don't worry, you have a nice time, and I'll have a nice time, and I'll catch you at some point. At 40, I can go, oh no, it's fine, just have a nice time, and I can have a little message after, hope you had a nice birthday, mate, blah, 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 all happy, all positive. Whereas 20 years ago, that would have killed me. I'd be a wreck, because I'm not included. I'm an outcast of the family. So in theory, I'm still an outcast of the family, but it's one person who, the reason she can't get over, she doesn't have her perfect family. Mum, dad, 2 kids, happy families. Well, sorry, love, your mum ran off when you were 2. 8 years later, I'm born. That's fuck all to do with me. Another 10 pence mark.
Yeah.
That's fuck all to do with me. But at 40, I'm almost proud of myself that doesn't affect me. It upset me. I got it off my chest to my wife. Hour or 2 later, it's water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Spoke to my brother a bit of back and forth, and all cheery and happy and blah, 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 blah. And I think he feels awkward in this. My dad feels terrible in this. And for me, here we are again. It took a family member to die last time me and my sister got on for a little bit, and it didn't last that long. A year later, here we are back to the fuck off bed.
Yes.
Last time I saw her was Father's Day last year, and there's times when me and my sister get on really well.
Okay.
But I only really see her at family events, and family events are where I'm not wanted. So the effect that's had on me held me back for a good decade, I think. Good, because I'm now very happy with how life's turned out. Business is going okay. I probably wouldn't run a business if it wasn't for that insecurity of mine.
Okay.
Because I didn't have anything to prove to myself. I went out with something to prove to myself, because I'm inadequate, because I'm not allowed in the family. I'm the black sheep, the ugly duckling, whatever. As a kid, that killed me. Now I'm 40. Well, you're missing out on a lot. You've got some cracking nieces and nephew here, and you don't see them. We live where we live for 2 reasons. The house prices. We bought a 3-bed semi when we first moved up this part of town for the same price as a 2-bed terrace when we were looking down there. So
Yeah.
We're better up here anyway. We like the area, we like the feel. They're both close to former coal mining towns, so it's very similar in terms of community spirit. There is a bit of that around here. So we're happy living here. But the second reason we moved up here is exactly that. I can remember bumping into my sister in the co-op, all nice, all happy, all smiley, and then later that evening gets a message off one of the barmaids in one of the local pubs. Oh, your sister's at it again, calling you blind. A few of her suck-up mates are all joining in. What's gone off? And I bumped into her buying a meal deal in the fucking co-op.
Yeah.
And she just, boom. She can't help it. I now feel sorry for her. I used to be angry at her.
Yeah.
Evil bitch. Then 10 years later, she's got issues that she can't get over. Quote B.A. Baracus, I pity the fool, but equally best thing I can do is keep my distance, which is sad, but keep my distance because then it doesn't keep happening. Doesn't affect me. I had to explain to my 4-year-old daughter, why doesn't Uncle Steve want us at his birthday?
Yeah.
He's fed up of being in the middle. He's fed up of having chats with her, chats with me, chats with this, My old man said, you both need to grow up. I think I have. She needs to do the growing up or fuck off out of my life sort of thing. And that is sad to say, hard to say, but the best thing because I don't want to keep going through this. I don't want the next generation to keep going through this. It's not nice for everybody in the middle. The sad thing is, and this is upsetting, it's go if we ever get on again, it's going to take the death of my father. Because the last time we got on dead sound to each other and she was very apologetic for how she treats me and really going to make an effort was when Grandma died. We ain't got any grandparents left now. What's next? And
Yeah. Then
yeah, it's like
that's tough.
when that horrific event happens, it'll crucify all of us. So either that pain in her is going to be magnified or it's going to go the same way as when Grandma died, how sorry she is and how, don't mean it and I love you really. And she does love me really. I can go around there with a problem, she'll help me out, and vice versa. But whenever there's a family setting, like Father's Day, I come in, right, let's be positive and hopefully you'll be a better reaction. Hey up, how you doing? You want a drink? Blah, blah. Totally ignored. The odd snardy little remark, half hour of unpleasantness for everybody in the room because there's clearly friction, an atmosphere. Oh, it's not good, is it? But I've kind of let go of that now. So I'm happy I've let go of it now. I'm happy that internal insecurities in me, I'm pretty much through it. And there's things I can work on to be a better person, 100%, but I'm not the dickhead in this situation anymore. Not that I ever was, but as a teenager, the younger one,
Yes.
you kind of, why am I always excluded? And I'm almost proud of myself because when you learn about yourself, it's like software with a computer, and I'm not a computer guy, but you can reprogram software. When you learn about yourself, this is the issue with me, or one of them, this is my issue. You can almost hive it off, palm it away. I know this is my problem. I'm going for some fresh air and a walk. And it's when I was in that space of disappointment, upset, not angry anymore. I used to be angry. That's when I used a couple of swear words I wasn't too proud of myself with because we were going over that way to see my brother and he's got a big birthday bash planned. That must have took months to plan.
Yeah.
That's fucking all of them hiding it from me, the buggers.
Okay.
But it's driven by her. And it's driven by her not because she's an evil witch like I was 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. It's driven because she can't get over her issue with the rejection. So 20 years plus 30 years of me feeling I'm being rejected here, which is kind of true. But the real issue is she can't handle the rejection from her mum up and leaving when she was 2 years old. So I'm very fortunate. My parents split up, but they're very, very amicable. They live 500 yards apart. They get on like house on fire still. I didn't have a parent up and leave. So what she's going through is worse than what I'm going through. I've got a sister who don't want me. On the surface, deep down, she still loves me, but you have to get pretty fucking deep, So really, I'm the lucky one. My mum didn't offer to leave. I've learnt to deal with what I know has been my issue for 20 years. I don't think I'd be working for myself if it wasn't for this issue. Look how that turned out. It's been a rocky road, but I'm doing all right.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have met my current wife. I've only been married once, but I wouldn't have So when you listen to this, I'm not making any plans. but, but you know what I mean? I'd have probably
Yeah,
met
yeah,
someone
yeah,
else,
yeah.
maybe, and I probably would have got into a relationship where a lot of people do things too soon, too quick, and I've learned a hell of a lot about myself and improved as a person. So me getting married in my early 30s as opposed to 20s, or you know, maybe I would have been happier as well in this alternate parallel universe. But I think something Mark said, you can't have regrets if you're happy where you ended up.
Absolutely.
So I've improved as a person, and I've also learnt to rewire the software in my head sometimes. Because if I can rewire the software in my head sometimes for this issue that's crippled me for 20 years, I can rewire my software in my head for anything. So that's my low. Feeling shit because I'm not involved in my brother's 50th. Didn't even know about it. Hidden from me. Ring ring on his birthday. Can I pop over? Got some things. No, I'm going out for a meal with everybody else. That wasn't how it was worded, but that's pretty much what happened. Okay, see you at the weekend. Weekend comes. Oh, pop round. Are you about? Sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, I rang my
Okay.
father actually. I'm coming over.
Yes. Yeah,
I
yeah.
see my brother, but I'll pop and have a drink with you on the way. Not seen you for a couple of weeks. And well, are you not going to his big party? What do you mean big party? Who else is invited above me, flesh and blood? That was a bit upsetting. So that's my low. But a couple of hours of sulking. Been here before. It's not as bad as last time because I now understand the situation so much more. In a way, I'm the lucky one because I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
able to get.
Absolutely.
I'm able to largely, not completely, but largely get through my insecurity issue on this matter. She isn't. She's still bitter and evil, and people see it. People see it. And I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not trying to be, but equally, as much as I miss out on her, she misses out on more than me. On me more. I turned out all right.
Yeah, you did. Absolutely.
So I don't know
Okay.
what else to say. It was
No,
a
that's
shit moment of
that.
fucking hell.
So
Outcast again. Blah de blah
can
de blah
I
de blah.
can I unpick that a little bit?
You unpick that a little bit. Don't babble on too long. We're 40 minutes in already, and I've
That's
got a dad
fine.
joke for you soon.
That's fine. That's fine. So you've said that that's your low.
Mm.
I agree, but I also disagree.
I'm proud of myself because I've got through the big
Because
challenge.
exactly that. You've talked about the change that's happened in you. The change that's happened in you
Yeah.
and your response to that news, which absolutely you're going to feel upset by.
God, it was a
But it's a
devastating blow.
massive positive
It,
that your response was more positive. So
it
I
was a
don't see
devastating
that.
blow, but my reply was, okay, fair, you have a nice time. And then I'd
Yeah.
hang up and be a bit like,
Your ability to handle that is obviously much stronger because the time you've taken and you've just spoken about it for however long
a
and
while.
been very open about it.
I owe Mark another 50p.
but you've said yourself, you've kind of that you're able to handle it. You're able to cope with it now, whereas 20 years ago
Oh, there's three
you
things that's
wouldn't have been
happened.
able to.
Three things that's happened. Time. It's took quite a bit of time of the same issue to lodge and register in my browser.
Yeah, yeah.
Some achievements, because when my father turned around and said, "You're a better businessman than I ever was, I'm proud of you," that was just like, oh, he's never said he's proud of me before.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
30 now. I don't think he probably told me he loves me twice in 30 years. So that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
my confidence, my self-belief, you've got to be a friend to yourself sometimes.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't a friend to myself quite a bit. Achieving something and being a friend to myself is one of them. Did I say three things? What's the other one?
Three things. That's
Understanding.
no,
Understanding. So when me and my sister started to get on a little bit just after grandma died, she laid it all out and said, look, here's my issue. Not fair on you. It's me, but I'm not going to do anything about it.
yeah. And that's
What do you want me to do then? If you're not going to put any effort in, you fuck off.
a shame, but yeah, that's
Massive
her
shame.
choice. It's
But if
got
she
to
was putting
be.
some effort in, that's her choice.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. So it's sad. It's upsetting. It still upsets me. But 10 years ago plus, I was angry. I was bitter. I'd be saying things. I'd be kicking off. I'd be, and to everybody else in the middle of that explosion, that's not nice, is it? For a now a parent myself, for my father to go through all that, it's like I was as bad as her in that point. I was completely as bad, sometimes worse. You know, I said some really, I did a few things you quite regret. As the teenage years and early 20s, it defeated me. I was literally like, I remember some of the thoughts. What is wrong with me? Well, all these years later, fuck all wrong with me. It's her.
And I
But
think when
at
you're
the
going
time,
through that sort of stuff,
yeah,
lots of people do think, what have I done? What's
yeah,
wrong with me?
yeah.
Why me?
Yeah. So if you're in that situation, is one of the reasons I want to talk about it today. If you're in that situation, understanding, be a friend to yourself, and then find some wins in your life you can be more confident on. And I'm not saying that for any professional capacity. You might have a professional come on and give us the science behind it, but that's how it feels to me. The big leap was when I had some self-worth in my own mind and I was a friend to myself. The other
And
big
I
leap was
think,
understanding, because now I know that's her issue. And if she doesn't want to try and get over it, mm, I'm not going to be, I'm not,
yes,
I'm done then. It's the saying, it is. When you want to make an effort, love, I'm here. Apart from that, fuck off. You know, I'm
no,
pissed
I
off because I am pissed off at my
100%
brother
back
as
you on
well,
that.
right? But, and all right, he might be a bit closer because they're a year apart you know, the mum walked out on him as well, but he's
Yeah,
basically just gone, well, she's the top.
yeah,
And that can't be easy either.
no, no.
So who's got it worse? You know what I mean?
And I think you mentioned something else in there, which
Probably.
100% I agree with. When you talked about if it wasn't for those things happening back then, you
Yeah.
wouldn't be in the place you are now.
Well, no, I'm well happy now.
And I completely agree with that. So I don't believe in regret at all. I don't regret anything because people will say, well, don't you regret, being with your ex-wife? No, because I've now got a daughter.
Yeah. How can you regret that?
Don't you regret being with, another partner that
Yeah.
had some very serious issues with and caused some serious damage to me? No, because if it wasn't for that happening, I wouldn't have been, on TikTok and online and things, and
Mm,
I wouldn't have met my partner now.
mm,
So had all those things, not happened, I wouldn't be where I am now. Had I not gone through all of that, maybe my life would have been good, maybe it wouldn't have been, but I wouldn't be where I am now. And people say, I've said with my partner a few times, or we've kind of said to each other, wouldn't it have been amazing if we'd have met 20 years ago? Maybe not, because actually we'd be living a completely different life. And that life might not be better. And we might, if we'd have met 20 years ago, we might have been having some of the struggles that we were having 20 years ago. As you said, you met your wife later on and are kind of thankful for that, because maybe if you'd have met her in that point when you were quite angry, she wouldn't be your wife anymore.
yeah. No, we wouldn't even got on.
No.
No way. I was in the right frame of mind to settle when I met her.
Mm.
Years before, fucking no chance. I was right, dickhead.
Plus also your wife's a bit younger than you, isn't she?
If I met her 10 years before, she'd be at school still. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So actually,
Right.
if you'd have met
9.
her, if you'd have met her previously, you'd now be in prison.
Not. I might have been out by now. Let's be right. I might be out by now.
Okay, but you'd be on the sex offenders register. So
Yeah.
your life would have been pretty different.
Very different. Oh dear. I have an arsehole. A clown's pocket. I'd have been in that long.
So, but in all seriousness, that's the
me.
reason
That's
I
what
don't regret my choices.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for those what you would deem as bad choices,
Mm.
then the things now wouldn't be the same. I talk a lot about, certainly with running a business, I think back to if I'd have stayed in my previous job and I worked for probably one of the biggest prime contractors in the world. I previously worked for government contractors in the world. I won't mention specifically, but I'm sure they've been in the news quite a lot, or they end up in the news quite a lot with prison contracts and various other contracts and things.
Yeah, Serco are always in the news.
But I would be potentially, theoretically earning well into six figures as a salary, and my life would be completely different. Yeah. And sometimes I look back and think, well, if I'd just stayed on at that and hadn't left to start my own business and so on and so forth. But then I think, okay, yes, I might have had lots of money, but I might not have been able to do some of the other things I was able to do, or have the flexibility, or have the time with my daughter, or because I'd potentially be working a lot more.
So ask yourself this, listeners, and I'll ask you now, what does success look like for you?
Success.
What metric for you?
Success is feeling comfortable.
Feeling comfortable, but on what metric do you feel comfortable?
I think there's a few metrics for me. So comfortable in that not having to worry about whether I can afford to pay my bills. It's not about, having stupid holidays or this, that, and the other. Don't get me wrong. I like to go on nice holidays. I've been to the Caribbean a couple of times before. I've been to, Florida and Disney. I've been on cruises and that sort of stuff. And they're nice. They're great experiences, but it isn't about that. It's about being able to go, I'd quite like to do that. Whether we have to save up for it or not, just being able to have the choice to go, you know what, let's book a holiday next year to Spain and just go and have fun there, or let's go and have a caravan holiday. And the other metric is being able to I think, our previous guest John Lamerton said about it, it's being able to do kind of almost what I want when I want. That is happiness for me. Being able to be in a position where, not every day, because I do enjoy work and I enjoy running the business and seeing the staff, and I get bored if I'm not, but being able to occasionally just go, you know what, I'm going to have a day off and do something with myself today. I think I said it a few weeks ago when I just went, right, it's Friday, there's nobody in, I'm taking the day off, I'm going for a massage, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to go into the spa, and I'm just going to take a me day. That for me is happiness, is success.
Have you heard the saying, I'm as happy as my least happy kid?
Yep.
So I totally get why a lot of people say the best time of life is when your children are toddlers.
Yeah.
So all downhill from
you
wait for
because when they're teenagers, they're never happy. Geez, I've got a nearly 5-year-old that's already acts like a teenager some days.
Yeah. I can relate to that.
Yeah, I can absolutely relate to that. But I think also happiness doesn't happen by chance.
Agreed.
You can't make yourself happy on hope. You can only make yourself happy or make your life happy on action.
Yeah, but also there's an awful lot of people out there, especially that run businesses, who are chasing stuff to impress people that no one really cares about.
Yeah.
Have you noticed the amount of time, effort, money ladies spend in beauty salons or in beauty places or looking pretty or clothes, whatever, and on the same thought process, blokes spend it, not me and you, but blokes spend in the gym.
Yeah.
So we all blokes working out, trying to impress ladies, where the only other ones that's impressed are the other blokes.
But I think I agree and I disagree, because I think there's two sides to it. So I chat to my partner about this occasions, and she generally, and I'm happy with this response, doesn't do a hair and makeup and all this, that, and the other to impress other people or even impress me. She does it to make herself feel good.
And that is
And I think that's the most
Away.
important thing, and I absolutely respect that. There are people out there, egotistical, vain people that do it because they want to look good to others. They want to
but even
show
they think,
off.
Show off. Even they think they're going to feel better themselves.
Yeah.
And not quite often they don't. You know, there's. See, I did something I don't normally do. I listened to a good podcast the other day, not as one of our reviewers advised. Listen to what a good podcast is not just two dreary blokes boring the socks off everybody, even at 1.5 times speed, or words to that effect, wasn't it? Anyway.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Right, carry on.
I think that was a brilliant review. I think that was a fantastic review. I'm going to keep using it and bringing it up. But the point is, there's people who fancy car, fancy yacht, fancy house, Picasso on the wall, and they go through the thing at the party and showing up, telling everybody all their stories, and then this one person interrupts and says, "I've got something you will never have. Enough.
Mm-hmm.
Happy with what I've got." That's where I want to be in life. And I'm on the track for it, to be fair, but that's the aim. Don't care how much money I make. That's the aim.
It's not about money.
Mm.
It's about having, again, John says it's about having the lifestyle that you want, that is enough for you. Some people, it's never enough. And I do feel sad for them because they don't recognise how much they have.
And how much they miss.
They only recognise how much they think they need to have rather than what they do have.
And that's very similar to me years ago when let's start a business and I'll get daddy's approval. I already had daddy's approval, I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
You know, that anger issue was just living in my head for no reason other than I haven't turned it into an issue.
Yeah. Interestingly, my dad told me he was proud of me. Well, he's told me he's proud of me before.
Show off.
But most dads, you know, like yours, aren't particularly open with their emotions.
Probably don't do emotions. Yeah.
Certainly with their children so much. Now, one time he did say he was proud of me is when I decided to close a previous business.
Mm-hmm.
Because he recognised that was a really difficult decision, and he was proud of me for having the bottle, I suppose, to go, enough's enough.
Because it's a taught.
I think it's a failure.
You're a torture, but failure is to keep continuing down a road that's not working.
I thought it was a failure.
Nothing wrong with pivoting.
And he said, no, I'm proud of you for making that decision.
Fucking too right.
Because that was the harder decision to make.
Spot on.
Yeah. Okay, then.
As we approach the hour mark.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what it ends up in edit.
You've got your little jingle. You got your little jingle. Because this is a tricky one.
Let's go into this one then.
Go into it.
Here we go.
That fucking gong at the end that gets me. We all like a Peppa Pig, don't we? You've got a little girl, you must like Peppa Pig. Who doesn't like Peppa Pig, right? So when a 4-year-old asks, how do pigs lay sausages? Because we know eggs come from chickens. And the last thing anybody's going to say is, we take an axe to Peppa Pig, chop her up a bit, put it on your plate.
We don't take an axe to Peppa Pig. Have you ever been to an abattoir?
No.
Do you know how meat is processed?
If I had to kill an animal myself, I'd be a bloody vegetarian.
Really?
I'm a total hypocrite. Yeah.
Okay. You're very different to me then.
I'm a complete twat in many ways. But one of them is, no, I don't want to see harm come to animals. So why do you eat them then, Benjamin? Fucking hypocrite, aren't I?
So that's my thing, actually.
So how do pigs lay sausages?
Yeah.
Answer that.
I wouldn't answer it.
We didn't.
And I'll tell you for why.
Mm.
I'll tell you for why. Because for me, I think it's so important for children nowadays to learn about where our meat comes from. Because I used to work in the outdoor centre a long time ago. And I took a group of primary age children inner city primary age children walking. Just in the local countryside. It was a centre not far from a city, but we had the countryside, and we walked through a field of cows. And one of the children said, "What's that?" And I said, "It's a cow." "Oh, okay." And I asked the question, "Where does milk come from?" And their response was the supermarket. Now, for me, that is really, really sad. Exactly the same as, to an extent, and okay, your daughter's much younger, but a child not, just thinking, oh, well, sausages and beef and things come from the supermarket. You ask some children what's beef, and they don't know that it's a cow. And I think that's really, really important for them to understand that, because it creates a respect for them as well. So for me, I do believe in the whole idea of kill it, cook it, eat it. I think you should not be afraid of the fact, if you're going to eat meat, you shouldn't be afraid, and you should respect the fact that, yes, that was an animal that effectively, kind of through no choice of their own, has given up their life to feed you. And it's part of the food chain. It's part of, you go to the Lion King. It's the circle of life. And I respect that. I've spent a lot of time on a family farm. I've spent a lot of time, I've delivered lambs. I've then eaten lambs that I've delivered 18 months later.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
And meat for me is not what it's become a lot in supermarkets. In supermarkets, it's now seen as a cheap throwaway, commodity. For me, I would rather spend a bit more money, get higher welfare meat, and eat meat less often than just have cheap meat. Because for me, that's much more respectful. And I do think my daughter knows about where meat comes from, where sausages come from, where beef comes from already. Myself and my daughter's mum have spent time teaching her that from an early age, because we used to take her to the family farm when she was 12 months old, 18 months old, and she would see sheep, and she'd play with sheep and lambs and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think it's really important to be honest with them about it, to me.
Oh, we're not gonna lie, but
Yeah.
when that one comes at you out of the blue, it's like, yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to say it's Peppa Pig and you kill her with an axe.
Well, no,
and
but
it's not about going into graphic detail, but I think just sitting down and explaining. There's actually some really good books on it. You can get books from the library and online and things to explain, where does meat come from? Where does milk come from? Where does everything that we get come from?
yeah, we'll see. I'll give that one some thought.
I think it's, for
my
me,
My
it's
twins want to
really
be
important.
vets so we can keep healing animals and making them all feel better. Like,
But this is the thing. This is the thing. You ask a vet, and I already know the answer, and I can guarantee a vet has killed more animals this week than you have.
Oh, 100%. Oh, no, 100%. But
most of what vets do is actually euthanize animals.
Yeah, no, I'm aware, but you can't tell that to a 4-year-old.
Yeah. But
we watch the cartoons where a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down or whatever, and everyone feels better in the morning.
Yeah, and okay, I understand from a vet's point of view, but I think 4-year-olds can, if you approach it in the right way, can tolerate and cope with and understand a lot better than you think.
Probably.
I don't think we should shy away from stuff with toddlers.
Well, the problem, and the problem's probably the wrong word, but we are at the minute still coming to grips of why's Granny in the sky, why's Grandma in.
Yeah.
To have those two parallel.
But I think it's...
Don't want that connection.
No, but I think you might be overthinking it.
Probably. More than likely, human beings, we overthink everything.
We can... It's not like you're going to take them to an abattoir and watch them get a bolt gun to the head. You're going to... And it's a sad thing in farming that lambs that are struggling
Hmm?
have to be,
Cold. Yeah.
culled effectively, because even organic lambs, even super high welfare meat has to be controlled, and I think it's just part and parcel of eating meat, and I'm quite respectful of that, and I'm all for sensitively teaching kids that from a really early age.
Yeah.
Because there is a disconnect, I think, for a lot of children nowadays of what they see on a supermarket shelf and what they see in a field,
No, massively.
and they don't respect
Mm.
that animal in the field.
Been a deep one this week, isn't it?
Yeah, it has. Should we end on something a bit more
Well, I know
a bit more positive?
Well, there's an oil crisis at the minute, and I know a joke about the oil crisis, but it's a bit too crude. So I'll probably go with the other news story from last week
Right.
about the Artemis space shuttle
Oh, yes.
that's gone around the moon and cost over many billions for something that they've already done 50 years ago. But did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut?
No.
He needed some space.
That is absolutely terrible.
I know. I love a terrible joke.
Yeah. I think on that note,
I'll work on it.
it's probably time to wrap up.
Shall we have a spoiler? We'll give a spoiler. You know when you watch something on Channel 4, most programs, fucking all of them, it's all the same. Fucking they could halve the amount of bloody TV time if they didn't do. Here's what's coming up in part 2, and then as soon as part 2 starts, here's a recap for 5 minutes of what went on in part 1. Then there's 5 minutes of what we're doing in part 2, and then bloody the last bit of part 2 is here's what's coming in part 3.
Have you been watching Married at First Sight again?
I quite like the commitment
ceremony. Have you really?
ceremony.
Because that was a guess.
No, yeah. But I quite like the commitment ceremony where the experts sit there and unpick the psychology of it, and I quite like that. But no, the rest of it I'm not that fussed about. But I quite like the
yes.
There. But next time, boys and girls, it's story time.
Oh, I see. Yes, we have
this podcast is all about the parents. It's not about the kids. I remember we had a weekend away in Bath, and on part of that we went for a day out in Bristol, and we got the bus back to the park and ride, and the bus driver there pointed at my kids first and said, £5, £5, and then pointed at me and my wife, says, free. It's about time the parents got something out of their life, innit? And had a little chuckle about that. So this story is all for the parents.
Well, let's not give away what the story is.
No,
let's just say, tune in next week.
Tune in next week for a story time with me.
Are you gonna end up being some sort of creepy BBC presenter that ends up on Operation U-Tree?
I'm going to end up being skint with Mark with what book we've chosen.
Right then, and on that note, I think it is time to definitely wrap up.
Good night.
You have a really good week, and we will see you next Thursday.